this is Jade. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be reviewing and reacting to, again, please correct me if the pronunciation is not right, ChRocktikal's full album. I did watch the MV for Peace. It was amazing. It was absolutely fantastic. And again, Xian's vocals on that particular track were really, really amazing as well. I had already high expectations going into that particular release because she was on it, but it exceeded everything, so I'm hoping to see what's on the rest of the tracks to and see if she continued on with, or the band continued on with that same motif, or if they went into any different directions with the music. Just to preface, there is going to be a pause warning, mostly because it is a bit of a longer video, and just to be on the safe side, I don't want any sort of copyright issues coming about. So there will be pauses after each track, and I will not be listening to the title again. I will be reviewing it after I listen to the first track alongside that, just so I give a little bit more of insight on what I thought about the instrumental and any additional thoughts on Xian's vocals and so on. But there will be pauses after each track, just so I can also get my thoughts out, and I try not to interrupt what's going on musically while I'm listening to it. But that being said, I'm going to get into this, and yeah, I'm excited, a little nervous, but here we go. First album for ChRocktikal.
As a result of the outbreak,
Alright, so that was the intro for the album. That was wild. That I did not expect, like, this classical type intro and then moving on into like those heavier electric guitars later on. I did hear a segment where there were some speeches going on. I did really enjoy that. I did also notice that it's very similar to a lot of what Dreamcatcher's intros are like. Maybe not so much with the speech in the middle, but very much like on brand with having classical mixed with the electric guitars. I think it was either Escape the Era or End of Nightmare that they did something like this with the intro. But they also did something similar with Deja Vu's intro, where they had that really pretty piano in the beginning. But I did want to give props to the band themselves because I was expecting to hear more of Xion on this track, even just a little bit over the band, but I was pleasantly surprised that it was just the band, just the instrumentalists themselves on this particular track, and it gives them a chance to shine, and I really, really enjoyed that. Whoever is playing that electric guitar, whoever that member is, and I still need to look up the names, he just goes off, and he did that in the music video too. He was shredding. But yeah, I really love that. Now moving on to Peace, I did mention that I would touch on that a little bit in this video. As I said, I'm not going to re-listen to it. I've already listened to it. But from what I recall of the track, Xion's vocals were super powerful, more powerful than I've heard them in a long time. And it seemed like she was really enjoying herself. I did notice a lot of vocal fry on her tone in certain segments of the song, and it was very playful, and I really love the fact that she is able to just be her natural self in a situation where she's just like, I'm not going to be the expectation of an idol here. I'm going to be Xion, the rock star that I've always wanted to be, and this is what you're gonna get. And she proved it. She did prove it. And moving on to the instrumentals from the band themselves, all of them did great. I really love the way the drum sounded on this particular track, really crisp. But I would also love to give a lot of kudos to that electric guitarist. I again mentioned that I don't know their names, and I will be looking them up. I briefly touched on the K profiles to see their names, but do I remember? Not really. But I will again be looking them up and to learn them properly. But the electric guitar being an instrument that I really enjoy, along with acoustic guitar and piano, the way it went so hard, I was really, really shocked, and in the best possible way. I didn't expect a guitar solo that heavy. I expected a guitar solo, and during the mid section there was something like that, and it was kind of what I was expecting, a bit of a not as heavy, not as full on the shred side of things. But later in the track, that's when we got it, and that's what threw me for a little bit of a loop. I was like, oh, we are getting a guitar solo, and we're getting a proper guitar solo here. But if everyone remembers Boca, there was a section where there was a guitar solo going off in the back, but it was so muted you could barely hear it. You'd have to like pinpoint it and zone in on it in order to hear it. Even though it was there, it just wasn't as prominent as it was here. But then again, Dreamcatcher is what was the focal point in Boca versus the instrumentation. Here, everyone gets the chance to shine, and I love that. I will be moving on to the third track.
계셨어. 나를 구원해준 구원자, 나를 생명체로 만들어준 그대. 한없이 사랑스러운 세상이 이제 빛으로 바뀐 건 한순간이었어. 네가 만든 내 모습이 날 떠난 이유라며. 나는 악이 아니야. 저번도 처음에 그저 사랑을 원했어. 나는 괴물이 됐어. 네가 준 생명은 결국 날 선물 거다. 네가 선택한 나는 처음부터 없었어. 만들었지 써버렸지. 줬다 뺏은 마음이 사라지지가 않네. 나를 이해해야 돼 너만은. 나를 사랑해야 해 너만은. 나는 존재가 유일하게 사랑할 사람. Victor, Victor. 내 눈 앞에만 너를 있어. 어디가지 말고 Chase me down, chase me down. 사랑하는 그들을 두고 내게로 와. Cut them up. 나는 악이 아니야. 저번도 처음에 그저 사랑을 원했어. 나는 괴물이 됐어. 네가 준 생명은 결국 날 선물 거다. 상상도 못한 아픔을 줄게. 너 또한 나처럼 그들 또한 그녀처럼. 얼마 남지 않은 듯해. Time to give in, let me take a breath. Victor. 나는 악이 아니야. 저번도 처음에 그저 사랑을 원했어. 난 괴물이 됐어. 네가 준 생명은 결국 날 선물 거다. I'll jump into the fire. I'll jump into the fire.
Okay, so that was the third track, Victor. There was a lot going on, especially vocally, and I could tell that Xian was taking a lot of liberties with what she could do with her voice. She was playing around with different techniques, and she nailed every one of them. As far as the instrumentation is concerned, it's a little less heavy in certain segments, not all. And I would think a little bit in maybe the pre-chorus and slightly in the intro, but not too much. It's still pretty heavy. But as far as this particular track is concerned, I see that Xiang carried it the most. The instrumental was still excellent. And when I'm saying it wasn't as heavy as Peace was, I meant after the drums. Because in the intro we do have that really those really heavy drums. Maybe in the similar vein to how Endless Night started. But after that, when the guitars kick in, they, as I mentioned, they're still heavy, but the sound is not as bombastic on the electric guitar side, as it was in Peace. It's a little bit pulled back. It's a little more tame. Probably what the word I'm looking for is probably a little more linear. But again, it doesn't take away anything from how amazing it still sounded. I really enjoyed, as I was mentioning before about Xi'an's vocals, she was playing around a lot with her vocals, a lot with the techniques on what she could do. And there were certain segments where she was going in different directions, I would say. But as far as her vocals are concerned, she was going like to her head voice, and then in the beginnings of the song she was like having this really husky tone, which I really love. She really is very versatile, and this pretty much showed that she can do anything with her voice and get away with it. But yeah, that was track 3, and again, really enjoyed it. So far, so good. But I don't expect to not like anything on here, so it's really, if it's all rock, it's going to be up my alley anyway. So, alright, moving on to track 4. Going now.
소리라는 건 마치 하리라는 것까지 날카롭게 도는 캣스펄처럼 부드럽게 스크래치 잠들어 있던 네 손 나 오늘 깨뜨려 내게 We break you awake That one time night before I don't notice the secrets We grind it to inside you and good for you alive It brings apart everything you thought you knew It's a 세게 준비됐나 시작할 시간이야 더는 미룰 수 없다 이런 저런 기준도 잡지마 Take it up, push this to something flimsy rules so they're unjudging Only by the broken standard What else? Do you think it's a fun game? 소리라는 건 마치 칼이라는 것 같이 날카롭게 도는 캣스펄처럼 부드럽게 스크래치 잠들어 있던 네 손 나 오늘 깨뜨려 Shout ChRocktikal We break your way 대가리에 피도 안 마른 게 혀가 어디라고 아가리를 터노 들어가래
Okay, so that was track 4, Kalish, I think it's the name. That threw me for millions of loops. Especially the fact that Xion was screaming. That was something I didn't expect. She pulled it off really well though, and yeah. This was everybody. Just like in Peace, everyone was shining in this. Everybody. From her vocals to the guitars to the bass to the drums, everybody was shining. This particular track I think was the heaviest so far. She did a lot of again, like she was playing around in Victor with her vocals, she was playing around even more here. She was doing a lot with her lower register. She was doing this talk singing type of situation, not really rapping, but literally talk singing. And she was using, like, as I mentioned, her deeper register. She was using a lot of mix of the huskiness within, a lot of her husky tone with vocal fries, which sounds really good when she does this. Excuse me. But she does those types of tones so well that when she gets into the screaming and she went attention, it kind of was like a juxtaposition with, it almost sounded like two different people on one track. And I love the fact that she can do this. That she can sound like a dual personality. And there are people who can do this, obviously, but she is showing that she's a master of it. One of them, at least. And yeah, I have nothing else to say on that particular side of the song. As far as the instrumentation is concerned, I think it's the heaviest so far on the album. I really enjoyed this. I think it's tied with Peace for me, followed by Victor. The intro is on its own. It's basically instrumental. And I love instrumental music, and I tend to not rank an instrumental track along with vocal tracks, mostly because there's not much to rank on that, because it sits on its own. It's its own type of being its own type of sound and its own type of setup. That's the word I was looking for. I don't tend to rank instrumental songs with vocal tracks, just because I see it in a different side of things. There are maybe people who do, and to each their own, right? But that's just the way I look at it. For me, though, again, Kalish and Peace are tied, followed by Victor at this moment. But yeah, so far so good. Everything I've heard so far is excellent. And so moving on to track 5, which I think is called Ride. So here we go.
치면 그곳은 파란 바닷속. So tell me, what did you see from here? Whatever it is, it's gonna last forever. 하고 싶은 거를 되고 싶은 게 돼. 비로소 과거를 버릴 타이밍. 원하는 그림을 그려내야지. kill it 느껴봐 이곳은 천국 같은 거야 헤엄치는 법을 몰라도 이미 넌 호흡하고 있잖아 Sky or deep sea What does it matter 강론해 보이는 것들 You own it 원하는 그림을 그려 내 연체에 잊혔던 소리내 울어도 돼 여긴 아무도 없으니까 바라던 사랑의 모습을 내게 보여줘 진짜로 만들어줄게 이제 여긴 너와 나뿐이니까 Just cry if you feel it inside Laugh even if you know 싫다는 날 Go wild, do it how you like yeah, like this is your final ride 울어, 울고 싶은 그냥 마구 울어 웃어 웃다 지쳐 쓰러진데도 말이 안 미쳐 하고 싶은 대로 마치 그래 지금 당장 죽어도 여한이 없을 듯이 Right.
Alright, so that was Ride by ChRocktikal, and that was nuts. So there was a lot going on, just like the other tracks. I'm gonna say something right now. I'm not good at describing like music in terms of instruments. I only play piano. I don't play much of anything else, and so I'm not really good at describing other instruments too much. So I'm doing my best. But as far as vocals are concerned, that is something I do know a little bit more about as well. So in terms of what Xion was doing here, is very similar again to what she was doing in Peace and in Kalish. But I did notice a little bit of a mix between punk and like a punk rock, and also like regular hard rock that you would have heard like maybe in the 1970s or 1980s. But the blend of them was really well done. I do really love the way the drums sounded on this, and I really enjoyed the mix between the bass and the electric guitar, and the electric guitar got another solo here, so I'm really happy with that. Yeah, but Xion's vocals are just so suited for this type of music, and I really am enjoying myself with this particular album so far. It's been a treat, but we still have quite a bit to go. Let's see what the 6th track is. Myself. Okay, so let's go ahead and go, and yeah, press play.
널 피난처였어. 널 초대하지 못했던 이유, yeah. 이해하지 마. 어차피 넌 못할 테니까. 다 이렇게 산다 그런 말은 뒤로 하고 내 마음의 말만 들을래. 남들이 정해놓은 앞치마는 지우고 난 나를 믿을래. 우와. Yeah. 난 날
Alright, so that was the 6th track, Myself. That was probably the softest track on the album so far. I really did like it, and I noticed that this one here kind of reminded me of 2000s rock, like early 2000s rock, and along with maybe a smidge mixed in of 90s alternative. Not so much, but just a little bit. But I noticed that Xiang was going for more like a power ballad type vocal style here, and I really love the bridge where the piano came in. That was super pretty, and her vocals went like really soft on that particular section of the song. I really don't have much else to say on this one. It was really, really good. And again, I am enjoying all of these tracks. They all bring something different to the album, and with regards to any sort of instrumentation, I really would love to give props to the other members. They're just doing the thing, and they're doing it so well. I don't know if I haven't seen the interviews for this particular group yet. I really should get to it, but I don't know if Xian picked the members. I know she's a producer for this group, but I don't know if she picked the members based on their particular skill sets. But if she did, she picked real well. But yeah, that was fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the 7th track, which is All In On Me. Okay, so here we go.
들이쉴 때마다 내 쉴 때마다 내 솔직한 눈길은 묶인 듯 네가 가는 곳마다 쫓아 이곳은 아무 나갈 수 없는 공간 금단의 열매 맺기 전까지 뭐 괜찮아 난 그저 궁금해 뿐 네가 눈빛으로 say something to me 숨을 참아 1, 2, 3 내 곁에서 close your eyes 아무도 모르게 난 all in on me 숨결은 내 목을 스쳐 살결을 맞춰 마치 뭔가에 홀린 것처럼 세상을 밝히는 건 너와 나뿐인 것 같아. 이곳은 어떤 참견도 없는 공간, 분명한 공기의 흐름까지 다 잊은 채 난 그저 사랑할 뿐. 네 그 몸짓으로 just love me like you do. 숨을 참아 one two three 내 곁에 서 close your eyes. 아무도 모르게 널 only know me.
Alright, so that was All In On Me. That was the most different piece of music on this album so far. Very 1970s, late 1970s, early 1980s disco. Kind of like Barry White or early Michael Jackson. Very much in that vein. Now, as far as her vocals are concerned, they are always amazing, and it just comes to show that she can do any sort of genre and knock it out of the park. As far as the instrumentation is concerned, I think my favorite parts were the bass, I believe towards the beginning of the track, and then that electric guitar that came out of left field at the end, which was fantastic, by the way. It blended in and so well with what was going on in the foreground of the track, which was that disco sound. It didn't sound out of place. It sounded perfectly in tune with everything what was going on. I really enjoyed that. But then again, I have a soft spot for older music, like 80s synth pop or like late 70s, early 80s disco. So that just hit all the boxes for me, and I really, really, really enjoyed that. But yeah, moving on to track number 8. It looks like we're towards the latter end of the album now. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and go into that. See if it continues the motif from earlier or if we get something different like we just did. Alright, here we go.
태풍에도 흔들리지 않잖아요. 푸른 향기만 남기고서 나아갈 널 알아. 끄떡없던 아이가 있었다. 너는 후회하고 있을까? 내가 된 너의 지금을. 넌 아직도 날 미워하냐고. 물음을 던져도 눈앞에 아이 것이다. 비구름 속에서 숨은 해를 찾던 끝을 모르던 꿈을 꾸던 아이는 참 눈부신 그대로 좀 더 지켜줄 수 없던 나의 어린 나를 비추면 넌 더 아이답게 날 스스로 잊고 짚고 새어나오는 한숨 그 숨에 날려 난 이대로 결코 가라앉고 또 난 널 위해 온다. 예고 없는 제 탓을 내 머릿속에 서투르는 적도 없었다. 기적을 바라던 내 쓸모없는 시간은 손살 같게 지나. 달빛에 가린 별 너는 기억하지. 두 눈 감고 속삭인 마지막 소원 그 눈부신 밤을 좀 더 지켜줄 수 없던 나의 어린 나를 비추면 넌 더 아이답게 날 스스로 잊고 지내. 버려둔 그대로 보여있는 널 모른 채 했던 나 품에 가득 안기엔 늦어버린 걸까. 바라던 그곳에 우린 닿을 수 있을까. 어린 나라 우린
Alright, so that was track number 8, Shame. So it looks like they went back into a rock motif, but not like into a hard rock motif. So from what it sounded like, originally I thought she was going for a folk, like a folk ballad or a folk sound, but then it, after the intro played, it sounded like pop rock ballad from either the early 1990s or mid 1990s, the kind of sound that you would hear from adult contemporary radio. But this particular track allowed her to show that, yes, I can belt, and yes, I don't need to use like light whispery vocals in order to sound good. My voice is great regardless of what type of vocal stylings I use. I did really enjoy the strings. I really enjoyed, there was a part in the song mid-end that they were using a drum style that I really enjoyed, the marching band drum style, but this was ballad-esque, but still with that rock edge, and I really enjoyed that. But now we're moving on to track 9, which is Iris. All right, let's go.
이제는 나도 어쩌면 넘어지지 않을 수 있을까. 견딜 만한 슬픔만 견디면 남들처럼 걸을 수 있을까. 긴 밤을 홀로 지새는 동안에도 반짝이는 별을 보았어. 내 것이 아니었던 그 눈부심에 인해 눈 감던 새벽을 기억해. 달빛도 들지 않는 어스름 진 이곳에 꽃이 피었다. 꿈결에도 꿈꿨던 햇살 이제 내게 숨결을 머무네. 그 진리였다고 믿었던 눈물 이제 저문 장마처럼. 시간은 언제나 기다려주지 않는다는 말이 있대. 이제는 안 된다고 고개를 내줬던 그날의 나를 배웅하네. 달빛도 들지 않는 어스름 진 이곳에 꽃이 피었다. 꿈결에도 꿈꿨던 햇살 이제 내게 숨결을 머무네. 그 진리였다고 믿었던 눈물 이제 저문 장마처럼. 잿빛의 새벽 속 눈물 짓던 나를 안아주며.
Alright, so that was Iris. What can I say about such a pretty ballad? Her vocals, whenever they don't have like that grit or that rasp and they sound really clear like they did here, it's almost as almost as if I'm listening to a different person altogether. And I was, while not surprised that it was something that she was able to do, it's not something I hear that often from her unless she's doing like an OST. So I think, or when she was doing her solos for when she wasn't, not when, but when she does record her solos for like her Dreamcatcher side, those solos, like Entrancing or Paradise, just to give examples, sound more like this. But it went from this really pretty melody with just her and piano and progressed into something that sounded like a power ballad from the 1980s, like mid to late 1980s. So I love how she's incorporating so many different genres from so many different like eras of music and making it into something that is palatable for an audience today. But I'm really enjoying all of this, and I think we have two last tracks, Masterpiece and Free Masterpiece being the next track. So let's go ahead and move on to track 10.
그때마다 조금씩 느리게 걸어 네가 꺼진 안전 속에도 새기는 듯이 선명한 그 잔상이 아직도 나의 세상의 유일한 것 같아. 그 곁을 유영하며 헤매다 다시 또 그때로 너와 나 함께하던 그날 속에선 여전히 행복해 보인다. 마치 끊은 적 없던 것처럼 감히 영원을 말하던 그때 어렸던 사랑 가슴에 새겨진 뒤 몇 번이고 되풀이돼
Alright, so that was a masterpiece, track 10. That really reminded me of Britpop. And if you know the group Oasis, or if you know the song Bittersweet Symphony, I believe it's by The Verve. If you know those songs, if you know that song, or if you know any songs by Oasis, it kind of gave me that type of vibe and sound. As far as Xi'an's vocals are concerned, they sounded super whimsy, super whimsical, if you will. I really enjoyed that. I really, really enjoyed that. That's a sound I really, really love. I'm not too hard to please when it comes to music. I really like almost anything. There's very little that I don't really gravitate towards, but that was fun. So far the album is a no skip. We still have the last track, but I have a feeling this will also be a no skip. So alright, so the last track is called Free, track 11. Here we go.
Time to rise, the ground is clear. A new burns and breaks through the fear. It lights the path beneath your feet. Shouting, here's your next beginning. Through steady cheers and senseless noise, driving at your own engine, sports regret. It's the key ahead. Just check your mirrors, never saw it. No wall can hold your run. Fly by the wind that moves for you. Feel the beat that's breaking through. Shine like paint, your skies breathe where your spirit learns to rise. Trust yourself, oh, oh, oh. Love yourself, you one of a kind. Let your breathe be yours. Some sidewalk mouth will spark a fire. Tupac chatter drowned in this mic. Until it's round the darkness bay. Remember faith, we got the tray. Still buzz like neon flies. Plant your roots under Christ. Just do what you can. Close wandering eyes look straight at you. No, I refuse that space. Fly by the wind that moves for you. Feel the beat that's breaking through. Shine like paint, your skies breathe where your spirit loves to rise. Trust yourself, oh, oh, oh. Love yourself, oh, oh, oh. The night you wandered on alone, turn into strength to call your own. The scars you carry in your chest, you shelter you who won't be lost. Drop the path you want to see. Fly right a wind that moves for you. Feel the beat that's breaking through. Shine the sun like paint your skies. Breathe where your spirit learns to rise. Trust yourself, oh, oh, oh. Love yourself, oh, oh. You're the only one who knows where to go now. You're free. You're wild, you're wild, you're free. You're wild, you're wild, you're free. You're wild, you're wild.
Alright, so that was the 11th track, the last track, Free. That kind of reminded me of a little bit anthemic sound, hopeful sound. There was some chanting towards the end of the track, and I feel like this would be an excellent concert type song. With the instrumentation, I did notice that there was a mix of types of genres, and when I say a mix, I mean it wasn't one specific sound. It went to something like pop rock towards the end, or mid-end I should say, and then most of the songs sounded almost like either country pop or country rock, whichever you think it falls under specifically. But it had like a little bit of that outdoorsy type vibe or feel to it. And this, as I mentioned, is something that would be great at concerts, especially towards the end of a concert, like either the second to last track. But it was super fun. It was vibey. The whole album was fantastic. Every single song on here had something for, I believe, everybody who listens to it. Some songs were for me personally, and this doesn't take away from the fact that all the songs are good. Every single song on this album is good. But some of the songs I feel are good, and other songs I feel are like fantastic. So it just really depends on the style of the song. For me, whether I label as, good, a good song that I will still listen to, or a song that is going to be on repeat several times in a row. So this album had more of the fantastic versus just good. I would say about several of the songs went on the fantastic side, and I would think maybe two or three of them were on the good. But it was just a great album overall. There's nothing negative, nothing bad I can even say about this. It was a fantastic journey to go through, an absolute treat. What would I give this album as a rating? If I were to rate it, probably super close to a 10. I would say maybe a 9.8. There was nothing on here that I didn't like. And the 9.8 only has to do with the fact that there are a couple of songs that are just on the good side for me, rather than the fantastic, I'm going to repeat this until the pause button's dead. Or the repeat button. Pause button. But yeah, great album. Now, I would like to address something that you may have noticed. My setup for the video is a little bit different than the reaction videos I've done, only because the format didn't work for this particular video. It was cutting things off, so I went ahead and did something that was a little bit different, and it did work out in the format. Hopefully it translates well to YouTube. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Still trying to figure out how to get rid of that watermark. But I'll wrap this up here. Hope everyone liked it, and hope everyone's having a great rest of their day. And I'll catch you on the next one. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, all if you'd like. And yeah, see you again on the next one.